Hi you guys, this video lesson is going to help you with the fraction, decimal, percent conversions assignment in ALEKS. A lot of this is something that we have already worked on in Math 7, but I thought it would be a good idea to do this review because it's been a while. So question number 1 says write 13.8 as a decimal and write 0.2 as a percentage. Okay, so remember, if you are going from a percent to a decimal, you need to divide by 100. So if you take 13.8 and you divide by 100, you're going to get 0.138. That's how you would write 13.8% as a decimal. And then to go from a decimal to a percentage, you need to multiply by 100. So 0.2 times by 100 is going to be 200%. Okay, let's go ahead and look at question number 3. It says write 7 3/4% as a decimal, not as a percentage. Well, 7 3/4, 3/4 is the same as 7.75. So if you're going to rewrite this as a decimal or not as a percentage, because it actually already has a decimal, doesn't it? We need to divide this by 100, which means really the decimal places are just going to move 2 places to the left. So this becomes 0.0775. And then to write 9 1/4% as a decimal, well, 9 1/4 is the same as 9.25%. So if we're going to write this not as a percentage, we need to take 9.25, divide by 100, which means our decimal is just really going to move to the left twice, which is 0.0925. Okay, question number 7 says write 34% as a fraction in simplest form. So remember, a percentage is always out of 100. So if you have 34%, that's really just 34 out of 100. And then it asks us to write this in simplest form. So 2 goes into 34 17 times, 2 goes into 100 50 times. Okay? So if we were to write 38% as a fraction in simplest form, 38% is the same as 38 out of 100. Okay, a percentage is always something out of 100. So 2 goes into 38 19 times, 2 goes into 150 times. Another way you could think about this is if you have 38% and you change that to a decimal, that's going to be 0.38. And then to write this as a fraction, you say it and then you write it. So this would be 38 hundredths, which is 19/50. So either way, you get the same answer in the end. Okay, question number 9. Write 3/4 as a percentage. Well, 3/4 is the same as 0.75. And so to write that as a percentage from a decimal, you have to times by 100, and that would be 75%. Okay. Number 10, write 16/20 as a percentage. So let's first go ahead and simplify this because 4 goes into 16 4 times, 4 goes into 20 5 times. Now from there, there's a couple of different things that you could do. You could make an equivalent fraction by making your denominator 100. And to get from 5 to 100, you have to multiply by 20. So 4 times 20 would be 80. And once you have something out of 100, that would just be your percentage, 80%. That's one way you could do it. Another way that you could do it is you could take the 4, you could divide it by 5, and that is going to give you 0.8. And then you would change that to a percentage by timesing by 100. And either way, you get 80%. Okay, let's look at a few more, and then I think you will be ready to do your own ALEKS assignment. Question 14 says, this year David watched 60 movies, so 60 movies in total. He thought that 12 of them were good. Of the movies he watched, what percentage did he rate as very good? Okay, so if 12 of them were good out of 60, and we want to change this into a percentage, if we go ahead and simplify this, 6 goes into 12 twice, 6 goes into 60 10 times. Oh, this simplifies even further. 2 goes into 2 once, 2 goes into 10 5 times. So we have a fraction of 1/5. If we want to know the percentage, you could do this two ways. You could take 1, you could divide by 5. And that gives you 0.2. Or you could take 1/5 and you could make an equivalent fraction here. To get from 5 to 100, you have to times by 20, which means 1 has to get times by 20, which gives us 20 out of 100. And anytime you have something out of 100, that is a percentage, so 20%. And then if we take the 0.2 and we times that by 100, we also get 20%. So when you're trying to take a fraction and make it into a percent, there's a couple of different ways. You can make your denominator denominator 100, or you can change the fraction into a decimal by dividing the numerator by the denominator and then change that into a percentage. Okay, question number 15 and 16 deal with finding the sales tax rate. And when you find the sales tax rate, all you do is you take the sales tax amount and you divide it by the cost before tax. So on question 15, when it says an item costs $450 before tax and the sales tax is $40.50, find the sales tax rate. Well, you're going to have to take $40.50 and divide by 450. That's going to give you 0.09, which is really just 9%. That would be the sales tax rate. On the next one, an item costs $320 before tax, and the sales tax is $25.60. So to find the sales tax rate, you take $25.60 and you divide by $320. So $25.60 divided by $320 is 0.08. And to change that into a percentage, I times by 100. So that gives me 8%. Okay, so please let me know if there are any of these questions that you need some more examples for on your own ALEKS assignment. Your only assignment today is to do the fraction decimal percent conversions. You should have this completed by the end of today, and then you'll have another assignment on Thursday of this week. So there's only 2 new assignments that you need to do this week. Like I said before, if you have any questions, please email me. I'm super happy to help you. Even though we're not together in person, I am still available. I hope you guys have a really awesome day. Talk to you soon.